What is up on my podcast listeners? This is your host, Rafal Matuszewski. And again, I got my little stabilizer that will follow me around and hopefully doesn't freak out if my face moves too quickly. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. One, I really miss these car sessions. But, my life has kind of been flipped upside down with the flooding of my place, but I digress. I want to talk about negativity today. We're going to get right into it without me rambling. I think this particular topic, people overlook so much when it comes to any facet of their life. When it comes to something as difficult as weight loss, starting a exercise routine, getting more mobility, getting pain-free, whatever your goal is. Having a negative environment, having negative people, and having negative relationships in your life will sure as shit make sure that you won't be successful. I've seen it so many times in my clients' lives, as well as my own life. And I always tell people that in order for you to be successful in weight loss, imagine if you had a partner at home that didn't truly support your endeavors when it came to, being consistent, going to the gym, or you trying to cook healthier, prep for the week, go to sleep earlier, cut down on the booze, cut down going out to eat, things like that. And they kind of just looked out for themselves. Then, you're probably not going to be that successful, right? It kind of comes to a shock to me where I've worked with couples before and just hearing one side of it where, say, the husband, wife, whoever decides to take health as a priority, and they'll tell me that their partner's not really into it and sometimes even puts them down or makes fun of them if they were, trying to get an extra session in when they're trying to go away on vacation, or little things like that. We live in such a fast-paced world where little things, little jabs, without you even knowing you're getting, can build up to a large fallout. I've seen it so many times in couples where one's really, really passionate about their health, the other one could care less. And that becomes a tough dynamic. I would imagine that it feels really difficult where you have this routine of every Friday night you go out and buy pub food and you overeat, you overdrink, and you do that week in, week out, month after month, year after year, and you're like, well, why aren't I losing weight? I've seen way too many people destroy a week's worth of, a perfect diet and a perfect training week with 1 or 2 days over the weekend where you binge like crazy, And step one, honestly, is to have a better relationship with your spouse, or just having a talk, because you don't have to assume or expect that your spouse or partner is going to jump on the bandwagon of health with you, right? So it's unfair for them and unfair for you to assume that they're going to do the same thing. Reality is you need to discuss it with them, because as much as you're your own person, when it comes to having a partner in your life, everything needs to be discussed. And this is why a lot of relationships end up failing, because someone buys something fucking expensive that's not needed, like a fucking 70-inch TV, and it costs $5,000 to buy, and you didn't consult with your partner. That's probably going to stir up some shit, And then people are surprised that their, relationships are not doing well. So same thing with fitness and health. If you are serious about it, you need to make sure your partner is on board with it and supports it. Even though they're not going to join you, going to the gym, going to this class, going on this walk, joining a run group, whatever the fuck it is, you need to make sure they're 100% on board and will be there to support you. I remember one of my first clients, she was so gung-ho to make sure that she stays on top of her health and focuses on herself, and like she found exercise was like a great source of mental relief, and like that was her mental health. And her husband was the complete opposite, just did not care, had one of those labor jobs, so he felt that that was enough to stay active and healthy. And I remember signing up for this obstacle course race with my client, and he came with her. He was there at the start line. He was chatting with me and all the other people participating. He was like so supportive. He's like, oh, you guys are gonna have like such a great time. This looks so cool. And he was not like personally into it at all, but because he knew his partner was all about it, he showed his support, his enthusiasm for it. Now, if you had someone like that rooting in your corner like a fucking cheerleader, 100% you would be super, super successful. Whereas if you had someone that when you came home, they're just sitting on their ass on the TV, doesn't pay attention to you, and you're trying to tell them about your workout, or like that you signed up for a 10K now that you've done your 5K, and they're just like, oh, cool, yeah, whatever. Like, that's not gonna help you push in any positive direction. So you need to have these serious conversations with your partners that, hey, this is what I'm going to be doing. I need your support. I don't expect you to fall under the same thing that I want to do, but you need to be there for me when I need it. And if they're for it, like usually when you have that conversation, they're like, oh shit, yeah, 100%. I'm with you on this. So worst case, they're just like, yep. And that's already a red flag. Like, I'm not going to get this whole podcast episode into like relationship advice, because I don't think I'm nowhere near at a point where I could, even though I have 15 years of marriage under my belt. Well, not marriage, being in the same relationship with the same woman and being married for 5 years. But I think I have a little bit of, say in relationship advice. But moving on from just like partners, like your close friends. If your close circle of friends are same thing, constantly going to the bar every single weekend, having drinks, having this, having that. There's nothing wrong about doing like social things, but if it's like every single weekend, you're having that burger, beers, drinks, dessert, whatever it is, over and over again, probably not going to help you get towards your goals. And there's nothing wrong with like enjoying those things, but if you are serious about improving your health and it becomes a habit, it's very hard to break out of it, because then Friday spills into Saturday, and you have 2 days during the week where you're having drinks, having junk food. It's going to add up. And then same thing, you can have a conversation with your friends about, hey, like I'm really passionate about my health right now, so I might not have drinks next time we go out. Like you can do a 50-50 and do slow transitions. Like I've had a lot of people in my life where they absolutely loved to drink beer, take shots, whatever it is, and then now they're sober because they've realized that drinking in social settings doesn't actually enhance their time in a positive way. Sometimes it just takes, just going out, change of scenery, because if you're like me, you're going in and out of work every single day, week after week, and sometimes, days blend into each other, and you're like, oh shit, it's already Friday, like I haven't even thought about what I'm supposed to do this weekend. So sometimes just going out with friends and just dishing it out and talking shit and, being social helps cut through that. But again, I'm not a person who advocates drinking or not drinking. Like, I personally love having a beer or two. I love whiskey, but I'm not taking it to a point where I'm like, every Friday and every Saturday, I'm going to have at least 4 to 6 beers or like have 6 shots of my whiskey because that's what I do. It's like, no, I usually have 2 drinks and that's it. That's all I need because I just drink for the taste. Like I really thoroughly enjoy a good craft beer and good whiskey. But some people use that as an escape, and that's a whole nother discussion that you'd have to get into. But I want you, and I think I'm going to do a part 2 to this, I want you to start thinking about the negative thoughts, the negative people in your life, and how you could possibly influence a little change in your life where you could maybe get rid of it, maybe have some tough conversations, maybe even cut some people out of your life. So I'm going to end it there. Hopefully you enjoyed my little ramble. That was just under 11 minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, hit the show notes, add me on Facebook, add me on Instagram, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel because I post a lot of content, a lot. And the more subscribers I have, the more people I'm going to reach, the more people I'm going to help. So it's on you guys to help me grow this thing as much as me. So until next time, that's it.